We all dream of success, building a career, making money, and enjoying the luxuries that come with financial freedom. I was no different. I worked hard, made smart investments, and by the age of 26, I had achieved what many only dream of: wealth, success, and a lavish lifestyle. Expensive cars, exotic vacations, and a seemingly perfect life made it look like I had it all. But beneath the surface, something was missing. I believed that money would bring happiness, but the truth was far from it. Then came the financial collapse. A series of poor decisions, risky investments, and overwhelming debt led to my downfall. What once seemed like an endless flow of money dried up overnight. From earning hundreds of thousands to barely making ends meet, I lost nearly everything, including my confidence, security, and the stability of my personal life. The dream I had worked so hard for turned into a nightmare. This is my story, and these are the lessons that changed my life. I got married young, full of dreams and ambitions. My wife and I wanted a good life, and I was determined to provide for our future. I started my career in real estate, believing it was the path to success. In the beginning, things were slow. I had to learn the business, understand the market, and build connections. But I worked hard, took risks, and made bold moves. Before long, my efforts started paying off. Deals that once seemed impossible began closing. I was making money, and not just a little, I was making a lot. By the time I was 26, I had reached a level of financial success that many people only dream of. The numbers in my bank account kept growing, and my confidence soared. With money came the luxuries. I bought expensive cars, traveled to beautiful destinations, and lived in a way that felt exciting. I could afford things I never imagined owning. I didn't have to think twice before making a purchase. If I wanted something, I got it. My lifestyle reflected the wealth I had accumulated, and to the outside world, it looked like I had everything. But despite all of this, something felt off. I had always thought money would bring happiness, that financial success would solve all my problems. Yet deep inside, there was an emptiness I couldn't explain. I had reached my goals, but I wasn't as fulfilled as I had expected to be. I had the wealth, but was I truly happy? That question lingered in my mind, though I tried to push it away. At the time, I didn't realize that money alone wasn't enough to bring lasting joy. I kept chasing more, believing that if I just reached the next level of success, I would finally feel satisfied. But life had other plans, and I was about to learn a lesson that would change everything. Success had come fast, but I never thought it could disappear just as quickly. At the height of my wealth, I made poor financial decisions. I was spending without limits, thinking the money would always flow in. I took on debts, believing I could pay them off easily. I invested in risky deals, convinced that every move I made would lead to profit. But I was wrong. Bank loans played a big role in my downfall. I borrowed large sums, thinking I was expanding my business, but the market shifted, and suddenly, my investments weren't bringing in returns. The payments started piling up, and before I knew it, I was drowning in debt. I tried to keep things afloat, hoping the situation would turn around, but the pressure only grew worse. The numbers in my bank account began to shrink. What was once a steady income of $250,000 rapidly declined. My wealth vanished, and soon I was left with just $6,000 to survive on. I lost everything: my properties, my cars, my luxurious lifestyle. It was a harsh reality to face. The impact on my personal life was devastating. My marriage suffered under the weight of financial stress. The joy and excitement we once shared turned into frustration and endless arguments. The person I had become was unrecognizable. I was no longer the confident man who once believed he had it all. The financial collapse didn't just take away my money, it took away my peace, my relationships, and my sense of self. I had reached rock bottom, and for the first time, I was forced to question everything. Was wealth truly the measure of success? And if money wasn't the answer, what was? After losing everything, I knew I had to change the way I handled money. I had lived recklessly, believing that wealth would last forever. But reality hit hard, and I realized that without the right financial principles, money could disappear in an instant. This time, I was determined to do things differently. The 4 key financial principles. 1. Budgeting. The first lesson I learned was the importance of budgeting. Before, I spent money without thinking. If I wanted something, I bought it. There was no plan, no control. But after my financial collapse, I saw how dangerous that mindset was. Now, every dollar I made had a purpose. I set limits on my spending and made sure I knew where my money was going. I tracked my income and expenses, ensuring that my needs were met before spending on wants. Budgeting gave me control over my finances, and for the first time I felt secure in how I handled money. Number 2, eliminating debt. Debt had been my biggest downfall. I had borrowed money carelessly, thinking I could pay it off easily. But debt is a trap. It grows, weighs you down, and takes away your freedom. I made a commitment to get rid of my debts as fast as possible. I cut unnecessary expenses, used every extra dollar to pay off what I owed, and avoided borrowing unless absolutely necessary. Slowly, the weight of debt started to lift, and I could finally breathe again. I learned that being debt-free is one of the greatest financial freedoms anyone can have. Number 3, fostering high-quality relationships. The people around us influence our financial decisions more than we realize. In my days of wealth, I surrounded myself with those who only encouraged my reckless spending. They admired my riches, but they didn't care about my future. When I lost everything, many of them disappeared. That experience taught me the value of high-quality relationships. I started seeking out people who were financially wise, those who could guide me and help me grow. I learned from mentors, connected with people who shared my vision, and made sure that my closest relationships were with those who encouraged discipline, wisdom, and growth. 4, saving money. If I had saved money when I was wealthy, my downfall wouldn't have been so severe. But I hadn't thought about the future. I believed the money would always come in, so I spent everything. Now I knew better. I started saving, even when my income was low. Every little amount set aside gave me security. I built an emergency fund, knowing that life is unpredictable. I learned that saving isn't just about storing money. It's about preparing for the unexpected, giving yourself options, and ensuring you never feel completely helpless again. These 4 financial principles changed my life. They helped me rebuild, gave me confidence, and showed me that true financial success isn't just about how much money you make, it's about how well you manage it. After learning the hard lessons of financial failure and recovery, I came to understand something even greater. True wealth isn't just about money, it's about what you do with it. Financial freedom isn't just the ability to buy luxuries, it's the ability to give, to bless others, and to create a meaningful impact. When I was drowning in debt, generosity wasn't something I could afford. I was too busy trying to survive, too stressed to think about others. But as I gained control over my finances, I saw that financial freedom allows you to give without fear. You no longer worry about your next bill or how you'll make ends meet. Instead, you can focus on how to help others. I learned that money, when managed well, isn't just a tool for personal comfort, it's a tool for changing lives. I once believed that generosity was only for the rich, but that's not true. Giving isn't about how much you have, it's about the heart behind it. I began practicing outrageous giving, not just small, safe donations, but giving that required faith. I saw people in need, and instead of looking away, I stepped in. Whether it was helping a struggling family, paying for someone's groceries, or supporting a friend in crisis, I realized that giving brought more joy than spending ever could. It wasn't about getting recognition or expecting something in return. It was about being a blessing because I had once been broken myself. One Thanksgiving, I felt led to do something different. Instead of a big meal at home, I went to a Waffle House and watched the people around me. I saw tired workers, single parents, and those who looked like they had nowhere else to go. I decided to leave a ridiculous tip, way beyond what seemed reasonable. When the waitress picked up the check and saw the amount, her eyes filled with tears. She told me how she had been struggling, how she almost didn't come to work that day, and how that tip would help her family in ways I couldn't imagine. That moment changed me. It wasn't about the money, it was about what the money could do. I used to think success was about making more money. Now I see that true success is about having the right mindset. Renewing my mind meant shifting from greed to generosity, from fear to faith. It meant realizing that money isn't the goal, impact is. The more I gave, the more I felt fulfilled. My financial journey had transformed, but more importantly, my heart had transformed. If this story has inspired you or given you valuable insights, don't stop here. Subscribe now to stay connected and continue learning powerful financial and life principles. Together, we can build a future of financial freedom, purpose, and true wealth. Hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and let's grow on this journey together.